So maybe you've identified that you have a fearful avoidant attachment style, and you've been doing the work to heal and become securely attached. I wanted to put together a video for you on what to expect as you heal and signs to look out for that indicate that you are truly healing. This one is specifically for the fearful avoidance and former fearful avoidance. Here are 9 signs that you are healing and moving into secure attachment. But real quick, if you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Sarah Whaling, and I'm a certified life, trauma, and relationship coach. And I help people heal insecure attachment styles of all types and become securely attached, targeting where trauma is stored in our subconscious and unconscious mind. I tailor personalized plans for my clients to heal insecure attachment styles, healing from childhood trauma, heal wounds from relationships early in life or later in life with individuals with personality disorders that were damaging, and also heal everyday pain points. If that is of interest to you, please fill out a contact form on my website with a detailed description of what you are interested in working on, and you'll receive a follow-up email which will include my session information. Now back to today's topic. Sign number 1, nothing. That's right, nothing. There's going to be a period of time when you start working on any number of components of healing the fearful avoidant attachment style in which you don't see any change in what you're working on. I wanted to put this as number 1 because people can get really frustrated sometimes and prematurely give up, making false conclusions about themselves that they can't heal or they're too broken or too damaged. I've heard all kinds of painful conclusions, and this misconception does people thinking these things such an injustice. One of the most important things to remember is that true healing involves a lot of changes taking place at a neuroplastic level in your brain. Have you ever heard of the saying that it takes 21 days to form a new habit? Well, they have debunked this time frame as a myth, and research suggests that it's actually a large range of 18 to 254 days, with the average being 66 days, which sounds better to me because I have seen and experienced the healing of core wounds, for example, to take longer than 21 days. But what they are basically talking about is how long it takes to form new solid neural pathways in your brain for any given thing. The subconscious mind is sometimes referred to as the habit mind, and the subconscious mind, and also unconscious mind, is where trauma is stored, basically meaning this is where the core wounds are located, and we have to heal at the subconscious level in order to truly heal. What happens when we are healing old painful beliefs or core wounds that we came away with from our life experiences in childhood is we are forming new neural pathways. When we start using these new neural pathways and stop using the old ones, the old neural pathways atrophy and fade away. This is basically the elimination of core wounds. If you want to watch an extremely detailed video on exactly how to heal trauma and a deep dive into the subconscious and unconscious mind, I encourage you to watch my video titled, "This Will Change Your Entire Life Forever." But that is sign number 1. You won't see anything at first. You have to keep in mind that these changes taking place in the brain are incremental, and many often take time and consistency. So keep that in mind and stay consistent and stay motivated. And remember that changes are taking place without being obvious at first. Sign number 2, increased emotional regulation. You will get triggered by less things, and you will get triggered less and less often until you really don't get triggered like you used to anymore. This is, again, a gradual thing. You will absolutely notice an eventual greater control over your emotions. In other words, you will have less volatility in circumstances of conflict, and you will handle conflict differently. And the moments that you are silently triggered and ruminate over situations will become less and less. This will mean that the swinging between hot and cold in relationships will gradually stop. Sign number 3, you will remember a time that you had certain core wounds and they are now non existent for you. There is life before healing core wounds versus life now that they don't exist in your world anymore. This one can honestly be surreal to experience. Yes, even the core wounds that were so strong, so deep rooted that they just took over your reality, a time comes when they no longer exist for you. Core wounds fading away is an obvious one, maybe to some people, but this is one that needs to be talked about because some people actually have the misconception that these deep rooted, painful wounds are something they won't get rid of and just have to manage. But getting rid of core wounds is not only completely possible for anyone willing to do the work, it is absolutely vital in healing the fearful avoidant attachment style. Fearful avoidants have the most core wounds out of all of the attachment styles. And this is the very reason why fearful avoidants have so many triggers. Which brings me to the next sign. Sign number 4, you take things much less personally. First off, what is one of the main reasons why we take things personally to begin with? It is usually because we are living life through the lens of our core wounds. So, with the elimination of core wounds, we are able to take these painful glasses off and stop assigning painful meaning to every unfavorable situation we encounter. If someone is short with you at work, for example, and you have the core wound, I am disliked, but then you have healed that core wound, the situation is less about how this person doesn't like you, and you can see things from a more objective light that this is this person's stuff. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're just a jerk, but it's not automatically something negative about you. Sign number 5, a clearer mind. When you start healing long-standing components of the fearful avoidant attachment style, you will experience a crystal clarity of mind that you haven't ever known maybe, or maybe you remember only knowing as a child at some point before certain traumas. You experience a stillness of mind and a peace that is new to you. If you previously had issues with brain fog, this seems to clear and the world is clear around you. This is the result of beginning to meet your needs. The chatter in the mind and the brain fog are often a symptom of chronically unmet needs. Meeting your needs would be learning what your personality needs are and meeting them, having good self-care and meeting physical needs, and making that a priority, and setting and maintaining healthy boundaries. Sign number 6, vulnerability hangovers become less and less until they are non existent. This will be especially big for fearful avoidants who historically have leaned more dismissive. Now, what is a vulnerability hangover? Well, they happen generally in a short time span after being vulnerable about something, sharing something personal with someone, or asking for a need that you would like met. Being vulnerable and honest about a boundary if something is a no for you. They can come with this feeling of shame, pain, regret, repulsion, exposure, and self doubt, and be accompanied by thoughts of second guessing the vulnerable share. There can be many wounds surrounding vulnerability, such as getting too vulnerable makes me look weak, or being vulnerable is embarrassing and shameful. Reprogramming your subconscious wounds around vulnerability can be an incredibly helpful step in healing the fearful avoidant attachment style. Sign number 7, you are able to much more easily and quickly walk away from things that aren't right for you. This can be very hard to do before healing the fearful avoidant attachment style. Many FAs stay stuck for far, far too long in unhealthy relationship dynamics when they know they need to leave. Maybe venting about it to people in their lives, trying for change, hoping for change, but just staying for far too long when they just know. If you find yourself faced with a situation in which you just know and you see yourself putting a stop to it much, much quicker, or even if this is something that people in your life have pointed out, because that often happens when we're healing, people around us notice things, this is an excellent sign that you are healing. Sign number 8, your attraction to unhealthy things and people ends. This is a beautiful one, and it is simply that. It can almost seem like you wake up one day uninterested in that painful thing or person, and it's no longer an attraction for you. Sign number 9. This kind of goes along with the last one, but along with what and who we are attracted to, attraction itself changes. The way you're attracted to people changes. You no longer experience limerence, just attraction and interest. Well, if this was helpful or interesting to you, please give it a like and share. If you haven't yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button to not miss any future content. Thanks for being here. Take care.